Hello everyone, welcome to another live stream. It's a lovely day outside and again a good day to talk to you guys. I will wait for another couple of minutes and let everyone join and then we can start. If you have any question, feel free to post it in the chat. I will take them one by one. Hey Rupa, the weekend is going alright, very slow. Watched Formula 1 in the morning, but then fell asleep after that, so yeah, pretty slow start, uh, but a good one. Yeah. How about you? Hey Arya, I'm doing good. How are you? Yeah, you are a true gamer, Rupa. Waiting for this new game to come, Wuthering Waves. So, really excited about that. So, let's see how that going game is. Trailer looks really good. I've seen some of the gameplays. That also looks good. So, really excited about it. Good to know that, Arya. So we have few people joining now. So if you have any questions, feel free to post it in the chat. We'll take them one by one. I'm just trying to check the Office of National Statistics. That's always a tongue twister. I'm just trying to see vacancies statistics. I'm not expecting any good news, but it's just always good to keep checking it. Maybe there will be a day or a month where we'll see number of jobs increasing, hopefully, but I don't expect that to be anytime soon, because the whole world economy is not looking really that great. So that always reflects onto the job market itself. So it is what it is. But what we can do is skill up ourselves, because that's what it's in our control, and that's what we can do. So yeah, no good news. Number of jobs still falling for the 20 consecutive period. Seems like we don't really have any questions today, which is good. That means that you are kind of all sorted. You know what you want to do. You know what decisions you're gonna take. So that's always good. But again, I'm always here to answer your questions because I've been there. So even I had a lot of questions at that time, but it was really hard to find those answers. So I try to just come here every Saturday, answer your questions. So feel free to ask your questions. Uh, so yeah, if we don't have any more questions, or if we don't have any questions at all, that is also fine. But I will still wait for like a minute or two and see if we get any questions. But if we don't, then we'll keep this a short live Q&A today. And maybe if you get more questions, you can always post it in the comments, or you can join live Q&A next Saturday or every Saturday 12 p.m. UK time. So that's when I do the live Q&As. So yeah, uh, it's 7 minutes and 30 seconds now since I started the live stream. I will wait for, let's say, 2.5 minutes maybe. And if we don't get any questions, we will end the live stream. I'm actually only a couple of people here, so sometimes my parents also uh, join the live stream. So I don't know if they have joined. So I really don't know if we have, well, I would say genuine audience, because they just join to see me maybe. They usually do not interact in the chat. So I will still ask, how's your weekend going? What are you up to? Anything planned? Just a general conversation that also we can have here. And I see here we have How or Eddie. Uh, and he's one of my colleague and friends. So really good guy. Hey, How? It's been long. I haven't called you How, so now calling you How feels little odd, because in the beginning it was hard to call you Eddie. Now I've become so used to calling you Eddie. It's hard to call you How, but it's fine. How much for one question charging fee? It's completely free. Free services here, so yeah, it's completely free, Eddie. But good to see you here. I'm glad you were able to join. That's fine. That's totally fine. I know who you are, and that's what matters. Wisdom Wave isn't doing much of advertising. I wonder why, but people are still pre-registering for the game. On the other hand, AFK Journey is doing a lot of advertising, and it seems to be continued. Yeah. Okay, I'll wait for your uh, another message. Yep. Giving much of a competition to Wuthering Waves. Yeah, I saw AFK Journeys some advertisement, but Well, the story looks alright, cutscenes look really good, but not too sure about the actual gameplay. I'm not a big fan of that kind of gameplay, so I may not play AFK Journey. So I will just wait for Wuthering Wave. And yeah, you're right. Wuthering Wave is not doing a lot of advertisement, so well, I don't think they need that much advertisement at this point, because all the content creators, they are already quite excited about it. So let's see. Do you think advertising is the key point for a product success? I do think advertising is very important, and companies should do it, but I think they also need to uh, do it up to the extent where they are not overdoing it. Because when you start doing something over I mean, when you start doing things over the limit, I think it always looks really bad. And that's what I think is with AFK Journey. They are literally sponsoring all the content creators. They are doing way too much advertisement online. So the reason why I think is overdoing the advertisement is bad is because sometimes it suggests that the product is not that good, and people, when people use it for once or twice, then they may not be interested in continuing to use the product or play the game. So they have to keep on doing the advertisement, and then maybe try to get more new customers, so that they keep on making the money or keep on generating the sales. So that's what I think. And the classic example I can give you is Workday. They do quite a lot of advertisement, and I have used Workday in the past, and I'm not really a big fan of the whole system. It's very buggy. I don't really like it. But then they do quite a lot of advertisement on much bigger platforms like Formula One and things like that. So I'm pretty sure they're spending so much money in advertisement. So instead of spending that much money in advertisement, if they spend that much money in improving their product, I think that will give them a loyal customers. It will also generate them more money. So that's what I think. But again, for product success, advertisement is one of the key aspects. I actually have a question. What do you think are the major trends in becoming a competent data analyst scientist? What knowledge should we have to move beyond traditional data analysis, especially in the era of AI? What developing tools? Uh, yeah, fast developing tools, right? That's a really good question, Eddie. So, as a data analyst, and I've talked about this in the past as well on my live Q and A in the videos. As a data analyst, we answer question which asks you what has happened in the past. But when it comes to data scientists, they answer a question which is what has happened in the past. But along with that, they also answer a question which is what will happen in the future. So, um, to be a data scientist, I think it's very important for you to know machine learning. And once you're very clear with your machine learning concepts, you understand all the underlying advantages, disadvantages, working of each and every machine learning, where to use which algorithm. Once you're clear with that, I think you can move on to the deep learning part. And once you are clear with deep learning, and same goes for deep learning, you need to understand all the underlying principles. You need to understand backpropagation, you need to understand CNN, you need to understand LSTM. There are a lot of different type of architectures for different data sets. So you need to understand those concepts. Once you are comfortable with that, then you can move on to Gen AI, which is a crossover from sequence to sequence modeling. And then now it has become transformers. So you need to understand those concepts. If you understand those concepts, I think it's fairly easy to understand how Gen AI works, and working of Gen AI. Using Gen AI, I think is fairly easy if you really want to build an application. it's very easy these days. You can build application, but also it is very important that you understand how those things are working, because then only you will be able to optimize the application, whatever application you're making. So to be a data scientist or advanced data analyst, I think it's important to understand these concepts. And when we are a student and or we are just doing any kind of course, we tend to do all the things and the whole data science lifecycle in just IPython notebook, which is fine. You learn a lot doing that, and it's very easy. You can see everything step by step in one notebook, which is good. But when you are building a large production applications, in that case, I think it's important for you to have different piece of code in different file in proper folder structures. It's also very important to understand that. And uh, and when I say that, people think like you should not do anything in Jupyter Notebook at all, which is not right. When you are in your ideation phase or you're just trying and testing different things, I think it is still good to use those IPython notebooks. And once you are done, once you are very clear that okay, I want to use this model, I want to use this architecture, I want to structure my program in certain way, and once you are very clear with that, then you can move on to the proper cookie cutter. I don't know if you have heard about the cookie cutter or not. So cookie cutter is a Python package which helps you to create a folder structure. Then you can move on to the cookie cutter, and then you can just arrange your code that way. So I think that is important. But apart from that, there are few other things that one should know. And again, these things are not being taught in the university. Things like GitHub, it's very important, especially when you're working in a collaborative team. So when multiple people are working on same code base, in that case, Git is very essential. Cloud knowledge. These days, all the companies are using cloud platforms, so you can still do quite a lot of things on your local machine. But when it comes to automation or sharing with the wider audience or even sharing with your whole team, I think it's important that you understand how cloud infrastructure works and how to best use it. Well, if you don't understand how it works, that's totally fine, because you're not a cloud engineer, you are a data scientist. For you, what's important is that you know how to use those cloud services. So that is another essential thing. And if you know all these things, I think you're in a really good position. And people do say that Gen AI or AI will take over the jobs, which is true. It is already taking quite a lot of jobs. But then uh, I think I have mentioned this in past live stream as well, and also in one of our calls. If you treat AI as a competition, you will never be able to win. But if you treat um, AI as your assistant, I think you will excel very fast, and you will be able to do quite a lot of things in less time. Whereas the people who are treating Gen AI as a competition will lag behind you. So that is another advice, I think. So yeah. Hey Harsh, how is the job market in UK right now? Not good. Because just the other day I was looking at number of jobs on LinkedIn. It has reduced quite a lot, and there aren't a lot of jobs available in the market. But then there are still a lot of students in the universities, and there are a lot of students. Uh, they've completed their masters, looking for job. There's still a lot of people I know from my batch. Well, not exactly from my batch, but um, during my tenure of masters, they're still looking for uh, jobs. They haven't found job yet. So yeah, job market is not really that great, and all the rules related to visa, salary threshold, and things like that, which are coming, not helping the job market for international students. So yeah, I would say the job market is not positive. I don't want to say it's bad, because there are still jobs, but job market is not good. And the other thing is, I have also talked to a lot of recruiters. They also say that there aren't a lot of good candidates in the market as well. So a lot of people, they are completing their courses or doing any kind of courses, or just learning by themselves. They are still not up to the expectation of the employers. So even hiring managers, they are struggling to find right candidates. So I would say, in that case, there are jobs, there aren't enough good candidates. But then it's always easy to make a really appealing CV and get a call. But then after a call, if you are not performing well, you will anyways get rejected. But then if there is another candidate who is actually really good with their skills, but they haven't sold themselves enough via their CV, so they will not get a call. So I would say, I think CV plays a very important role in whole hiring process, and also this whole job market itself. So do focus on CV as well. And when I say CV, it's not all about CV. Again, like I said, if your CV gets selected, but if you're not able to do well in your interview, you will not get the job. And that's something which all the hiring managers and recruiters are saying, that there aren't enough good candidates in the job market. So do focus on both the aspects, and if you focus on both the aspects, I think you should be able to find a job. It's not impossible. So all the people I know who spend some time leveling up their skills, who who had put in a lot of effort while studying or while preparing for interviews or while doing their projects, they have got a job. But then people who were just focusing on part-time jobs and maybe chilling here and there, they're still struggling. So if you are someone who is ready to put in effort, I think you should be able to find a job. But it will be hard, even though you put in good amount of effort, even though your CV is all right. It is going to take time, it will be hard, but you just need to stay positive and keep working towards it, because that's what uh, uh, well, that is something which is in your control, so you can't really do much about the job market. So just keep working, just keep doing some interesting projects. I'm currently working on one of the projects, and I will try to make a video about it, hopefully by the end of next month, if I'm able to finish it this weekend. So maybe you can try to work on that project. And whenever you work on a project, or when you're following a project, I would always suggest, first watch the whole project video, get the idea, get the whole workflow, how it is working. And then if you feel like you still don't have confidence, and if this is your, let's say, first, second, third, fourth, or even fifth project, or maybe a new project which you haven't worked in the past, uh, try to code along, try to completely uh, replicate the project. And once you feel like you are comfortable, then try to do that same project in a different way. Maybe use different data source, maybe use different set of tools, maybe try to structure the whole code in a different way, maybe try to optimize the code. Because most of the times when a project is being created for YouTube tutorial, the main idea of that project is to make you understand the underlying concept, and not optimizing it for the end user. So maybe that is something which you can do once you understand the whole architecture. So those are the things that you can do to help yourself in finding a job. Job market is harsh, but if you are good and confident enough, it is not a problem. From my personal perspective, I totally agree with House point. So it's a very valid point, and I totally agree to that. There's such a drastic change from last year in the job market. There used to be at least 10, 12 new jobs on LinkedIn for business analyst every day, but now there are barely any business analysts. So I again agree to that. And that's what I was talking about. The number of jobs are reducing in the job market every single day. So it's bad. And do you think it will get better? The question which you asked, Harsh. Uh, I think it's really bad at this point. So if it gets even worse from here on, I would say that the economy is doing really, really bad. So I would hope that it will get better from here. Um, but then again, it's just a speculation. I can't really say that with full confidence. But it is what it is. I'm planning to go to Hull University in AI and data science. What's your opinion regarding Hull University? Um, I don't know about the university in general, but last time when I checked their course content, I think they have a pretty good course content for AI data science side of things. They do cover all the important aspects. So in terms of course content, at least it's good. And it doesn't matter which university you're going to. All the universities have good connections in the market. They do work on a lot of different type of projects with in collaboration with other companies. So you will get exposure of working on real time projects. So that's good. And I'm saying that because recently I went to a meetup, or you could say that um, AI conference from Teesside University, which is a very small university in a very small town. So if you just look at that university from outside, you'll feel like, oh, it's a very small university. Maybe it's not worth going to. But then the kind of work they are doing, it's amazing. There are a lot of really good professors there. They have really good connection in the market, and they're working on a lot of innovative stuff. So it doesn't matter which university you go to. It's all about making the best use of all the resources that you have. And the only downside of those universities is that there are a lot of wrong type of crowd, so it's very easy to get involved with those people. And when you don't have much competition around you, you don't feel like working to improve yourself. But then when you have a lot of competition around you, you always feel like, I need to work more, I need to work hard, I need to improve myself. So that will always be there. But if you are someone who consider yourself as a competition, for you it's not a problem at all. You just need to see whether you are learning something new every single day. If you're doing that, that's great. If you're not doing that, then that's really bad. So if you keep that in mind, and if you keep that kind of mindset, I think it doesn't really matter which university you're going to. All the universities will provide you good resources, and if you use those resources well, I think you should be able to make a good portfolio, good profile. I agree with you, Harry. Confidence and positive attitude also plays a major part. Definitely. How's the job market currently for data analytics in UK? Bad. Again, that's what we were talking about. Uh, Job market is not good. It doesn't really matter whether it's data analyst, data scientist, business analyst. Job market is really bad right now. Can you suggest one to university for data science? Like which ones you prefer if you want to start again? I would definitely give the thumbs up to Newcastle University, from where I completed my masters. I had good amount of resources at my disposal. I had a good exposure as well. There is a completely separate building where they do quite a lot of research work, and they also work on a lot of different type of projects in collaboration with different companies. So I just went there for a meetup, and then I was able to find an internship, and that internship was really good. I learned a lot from that internship. So I would say Newcastle University is a good one. But if you want to go to even better university, I think University of Edinburgh is probably the best university for AI and data science, or in computer science in general. So University of Edinburgh can be another really good university. University of Edinburgh is relatively expensive, whereas University of Newcastle or Newcastle University is again expensive because it's a Russell Group university, but it's not as expensive as University of Edinburgh. But then, if you're looking for some affordable universities, but then with a good course content, I think Manchester Metropolitan University should be a good one because their course content is really good. University of Hertfordshire is again a good university in terms of course content, but the downside of that university is that they do have quite a lot of candidates in one batch. So last time when I talked to one of the students from University of Hertfordshire, they had like 500 students in one batch, which is huge from my perspective. I wouldn't want those many students to be in one batch, but as long as the university is managing it well, they're providing resources to each and every students, and there is no limitation on how they can use those resources. I think it is not that big of a challenge. So those are some of the inexpensive universities. I hope that helps us. Time to drink some water. You're welcome, Harsh. Oops. I zoomed it on my face quite a lot. You wouldn't want to see my face that huge. Today my tongue is twisting quite a lot. I'm not able to speak properly. Does it happen to any of one of you? I hope the weather is fine there. It's getting so hot here in India. I know. The other day I was talking to my parents and they were saying that it is getting really really hot there. And the place where I live, Kota, Rajasthan, in peak summer it can go up to even 48 degrees Celsius, uh, which is just too bad. I just can't handle that. But here the weather is all right. It just rains a lot, but apart from that, I think it's not hot, and that's what matters for me. So today also the weather is all right. It's not sunny, but like Eddie said, or How said, spring is just coming to the UK, so all the dry trees, they are becoming green again. So really good. I will try to show you a tree in the background. I don't know if you are able to see. I think it's really hard to see, but then the tree is getting all that white flower sort of things. So it looks really beautiful. So weather is good here. Day by day, the cold is reducing. So so it's good. It's good. I like it. You haven't had any spicy food yet. That's the reason. Ah, right. I need to have a spicy food. How is our man for big meals? But he doesn't like sweet at all. But what about spicy? Come on, I keep doing that. But what about spicy food? How do you like spicy food? I'm in Bangalore too. My parents keep mentioning mentioning it in every call. Seems harsh this year. Yeah, seems like it's really hot this year. Where are you from, Harsh. Normal spicy food is all right. But you're a good chef. Yes, good. I keep calling you Eddie. uh, you're a good chef. How? Delhi. Delhi is again a very hot place. I've lived in a lot of places in India, and I think Kota is the hottest place where I have lived. Jammu and Kashmir is also, well, Jammu is a hotter place, but not as bad as uh, Kota. I think Delhi is kind of same, but then I've lived in places like Srinagar, which was lovely. I lived in Mount Abu, again really good. Those are hill stations. I've lived in Bangalore. Bangalore was really good when I initially went there in 2014 or something. But within just 4 years, it started getting much more hotter. So I think in recent years or this year, I think it is getting even worse. Where are you in the UK? I'm in Newcastle. It's in the northeast. Northeast is a really good place to live. It's uh, well, I was about to say it's really inexpensive, but then inexpensive is a relative term. So it is really inexpensive as compared to uh, southern part of England. But when you compare the living expenses to India, I think it's still expensive. But then I think living in Northeast is much better as compared to living in southern part of England or the UK in general. Near Ireland, yes, near Ireland, but on the eastern side. Well, I think those were all the questions. If you don't have any questions, then we can call it a day. And how's the pay scale after MS in data science in the UK? Um, for a data scientist with some experience, let's say 1 2 years of experience, I think the salary starts from 30 to 35,000 pounds. But then if you have bit more experience, I think you can if you have like 3 to 4 years of experience or maybe more, then you can have more salary. I think it totally depends on the organization as well. Some organizations they do pay well, some organizations they don't. So it's just that, but that's the average salary once you finish your masters. And even as a fresher, I think the salary starts from 28K. uh, but then if you are in cities like London, Manchester, Bristol, probably there you will have little more salary because those are relatively expensive places to live in. But then I've seen a lot of companies, even in London, they pay 28K. So it's really hard to uh, manage things. I won't say it's impossible. You will be able to manage your expenses in that salary, but it will be little tight. You'll have to be very conscious about where you are spending your money. But that's the kind of starting salary, well, average starting salary, 28K. I think for an international student, it's not enough. Well, it's not enough. Well, it's wrong to say enough because it depends on quite a lot of things: your living style, how much expenses you have. Back in India, if you have taken education loan, in that case, I think it would be even tighter. So, for some people, it will be enough, and for some people, it may not be enough. And I don't think um it makes any difference for international student or local student. I think it's just kind of low in terms of salary. But again, it depends where you're living. If you're living in northeast or if you're living around here, I think you should be able to manage your expenses. It's not that bad. But then if you're living in London or Manchester or Birmingham, I think it will be little tight to be able to manage your expenses. But I won't say it's not enough. Now some more questions. Can I ping you on LinkedIn? Feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions there. But if you are comfortable asking those questions here in the chat, feel free to ask. Because I usually keep live Q&A going on for 1 hour, but feels like we don't really have much uh, questions today. So I was thinking to maybe end the live Q&A. But if you want to ask these questions here in the chat, feel free to do so. But if you are not comfortable, then yeah, give me a shout on LinkedIn. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions there. Have you started your cleaning? How? Or have you already completed your cleaning? I was saying, did you complete your cleaning or are you still working on your cleaning stuff? You need to make sure that your house is nice and clean before tomorrow. Yeah. Well, How's girlfriend is coming tomorrow, so he needs to get everything sorted, neat and clean, or else he will get scolded. You wash the bed sheet. That's a good start, I would say. All right, I will let you get on with your cleaning how, and If you don't have any more questions, have a great weekend, everyone, and all the best to you, Harsh. Uh, Happy learning. Enjoy your weekend as well, and make sure you're hydrated enough because it's getting really hot there in Delhi or in India in general. So yeah, and also make that video of the project. Yeah, sure. I will try to get that video out hopefully by the end of next week. Let's hope I am able to get on with it today and tomorrow. So I will try to do that. All right. Great weekend, everyone. Take care. Bye.